So I didn't know what to thank you, Jim, for making that call and getting them out here to fix the air. Sure is nice to have service back in the sanctuary. The scriptures today lead to one thing, folks, and that's priorities in life. Whether we understand it or not, that's what Jeremiah was talking about too. He's saying that God says, I know you all. I know you before you were born. I knew you when you were being knitted together in your mother's womb. I knew where you were at and where you were going. I knew what was inside of you. And I know all of your potential. And I have things for you to do. You're going to tear down barriers. Tear down things that separate people. And then you're going to build up. You're going to plant. And you're going to grow new things. Things like love, acceptance, non-discrimination. You're going to grow things like an appreciation for the creation that God has given us in this world. And you're going to learn how to take care of it. Because, see, those are the potentials within you. And then we get to the gospel, and it's all about Jesus, putting priorities on things. Now we sit there and say, well, what do you mean, preacher? It's very simple. First of all, people are criticizing him. Criticizing him for his doctrine. Criticizing him for who he is and what he's doing, and not following the strict codes that were set for him, that he was raised in, that I'm sure in some ways he believed. And he was setting new priorities for people. He saw someone that needed help. Help in a new and different way. For you see, she had been crippled for such a long time. Now for us, we think back, and if you're getting to be a little older generation, you get the aches and the pains, and you wonder what happened. How come that my body doesn't act like it did when I'm 16? Because in here, it should. I should still be able to do all these things. I should be as strong as I was. I should have as much endurance as I had. I should be able to do. And then the truth and the reality of the world comes in, and you find out you are limited. And you don't like the limits put on you. And Jesus sees this woman who's had this limit for 18 years. And he heals her. And all of those elders and all of those good church folks, the very first thing they can do is condemn him. Condemn him for working on the Sabbath. Now we think about that, each and every one of us as children of God now, because sometimes we're required to work on the Sabbath. I work every Sabbath. I don't know about the rest of you, but I work every Sabbath. Except this isn't my Sabbath, this is my work day. I take Monday as a Sabbath, because I get up and I do my bulletin, and that's all I do that day, unless I want to do it. So we all have a Sabbath somewhere within our realms that we keep. And Jesus reminds the folks, and this is what I love most of all, because he reminds them first of all how we take care of our animals. Have you noticed that? First thing he does is turn around and he says, well, you've got a working animal, you take it to drink. I think in today's society, he said if you have a pet, before you leave the house, you make sure that it's taken care of, right? I know we do in our house. Smokey's not going to let us leave unless we feed him. So we have to take care of him, make sure his water is fresh, because he's very picky about that too. and you take care of your pets. And then he looks at us and says, who is worth more? And I have to sit and think about it myself at times. Who is worth more? Is it these animals we take care of? Or is it people? And Jesus gave us clear direction on this. He said, first of all and foremost, it's people. He said they take a priority. And if we can take care of our animals as well as we do, and don't consider ourselves breaking the Sabbath or the rules, why can't we take care of our people? It's a simple question that we are all asked at times. Why can't we take care of our people? We have prayer time each Sunday. We ask for prayers for individuals. And I think about that. And I pray for each and every folks that I'm asked to pray for. And sometimes I think, what more could I do? Could I visit them? Could I call them? Could I take care of them? All of us need to look at our priorities. Our priorities should always be the children of God first, the creation of God second. Hard thing to grasp at times, but that's what God has put in his priorities. And I look at it and I think about it. Instead of making sure sometimes that Smokey's fed when he wants to be fed, maybe I need to buy an extra box of cereal for Paducah Cooperatives too, to make sure the kids are fed when they want to be fed. Maybe I sometimes need to back off a little bit on some of the things I do for the house, some of the things I do, because I'm picky about things like my lawn. Should I back off and care a little more about whether I have time to visit folks in the hospital? Or should I care more about my lawn? God has set priorities for us. Our first 4 priority is to see God in each and every individual. When I look around and I see us as God's people, I'm thinking, where do my priorities lie? Do I see God in your eyes? Or is my head going at the 900 things I need to do at home? Where are my priorities? Do I have time to sit and talk and listen? Even if I've heard the same story 12 times? Where are my priorities? Usually when people do that, they do it because they're lonely and they want somebody to hear them. So are we willing to hear the lonely? Are we willing to visit the sick? Are we willing to reach out and heal those people that heart has been broken, the back has been bent, the legs aren't quite as strong as they used to be, and they need our help? Are we God's people, or do we set our own priorities? Questions we need to ask, and questions we need to evaluate. Evaluate where we're at and where we're going. In the name of Jesus.